Hey guys, welcome to the third installment of the series. A lot happened today, so just, I guess, sit back and enjoy the video. So I started off by making a farm and getting some carrots. After getting a decent amount of carrots that would probably sustain me for a while, I decided to start building a sweetberry farm. I did some finishing touches on my farm and got pretty decently close to completing it. And then, after a while, I cut down a tree, and with my newfound food, I headed back to the base. I then found a fox, and using some of my leads, I got my very first pet on the server. A zombie intervened and I had to cut him down to size, but free armor. I decided I needed to keep my pet safe, so naturally, I went back inside my house and made spruce fences. I ended up tying him to a tree, which, honestly, I really did not think that through. Editing me is I don't know why I did that. Anyway, after tying him to a tree, I ended up finding a trident. I didn't actually record, so I kind of just started recording once I got my trident, just because, yeah. I was feeling pretty decently geared, and I just ended up enchanting it and getting Riptide 3, which was just what I needed. After that, I went back home and started doing home renovations. I cleared out an area and then after that, I just kind of kept mining, and then I went back to the main area of the server and I stole wood. Sorry. But yeah, I flew back, harvested my sweetberry farm, and after a while I created an entrance for my mine. I started mining into a tunnel bore, but the start was super painstaking because there was a large amount of gravel in the way, and I had a pretty slow shovel. After clearing out the gravel and mining for a little bit, I hit diamonds in short order. I ended up mining the diamonds, but it just kind of took me a while, but there was a lot of gravel, so kind of have to excuse me on that one. I continued the leisurely mining, and after a while, I decided to go back up and I found a village. Unfortunately, most of the villagers ended up dying, but I got a decent amount of emeralds from a Fletcher that was there. My companion, Hades, had trapped a librarian in a hole. We built a house around him out of a bunch of random resources, and we named our beautiful new villager friend Bezosis. With Bezos' new house coming to a close, we added some finishing touches, and I ended up buying a mending book from him. With Bezos' new house, we just kind of decided, this village, pretty much, we don't really need anything else from it. So after buying my mending book, I decided to leave and go back to my house with my newly acquired wealth. It was a long, hard journey, but my sweet berries and other assorted rations helped me through. I returned home and finally put mending on my riptide trident. I named it Zoom, because, I mean, what do you name it? A trident. And then I went to another journey, and I started a raid in a faraway village for some reason. I went on a slaughter, and I killed a super large amount of the raiders who were attacking the village. I then tamed a horse who I named Chester. I don't know, I just thought it would be cool. Chester was a really fast horse who totally outshined all of the other horses. The raid, excuse me, got to its last waves, and we ended up beating it. Hades got the totem in the end, but it was definitely worth it for both of us for the emeralds. Tragically, after the raid, I was kind of standing around idle, and a creeper ended up exploding Chester. Oh my word. I was so sad at Chester's death, but I just kind of walked around, found his saddle, and then I missed a parkour jump twice? Yeah. I then left the village and put some netherite that Hades gave me on my chestplate. I found a zombie villager and I ended up naming him Ted because, I mean, like, what else do you name a zombie villager, really? I trapped Ted on a little dirt balcony, and I protected him from any incoming mobs or threats. Ted must have felt pretty at home because he just kind of stood there and did absolutely nothing. I don't really know what happened, but I mean, hey. Afterwards, I flew over to the sheep farm and I took some wool to go netherite mining with. I went down to my tunnel and I went straight to the nether after walking for a while. I immediately started to netherite mine after coming into the nether, and after receiving a lot of fire damage, and I really don't know why I did this, but eventually the fire ceased and I started to mine the rest of the fairly large, decent chunk of netherite. After getting a pretty decent amount of netherite, I headed home, but I got enough for a few pieces for my armor. After heading home through my tunnel, I started to run low on food, but I did some more villager trading, and yeah, pretty much I got to the point where I have a pretty decent amount of stuff, so afterwards, after getting a few more emeralds, I just decided to log off.